I'd like to lend my voice to calls for everybody to keep wearing their masks and keep socially distanced. This virus has not disappeared yet, and it remains highly infectious. There are people out there who have looked at this vaccine and decided not to take it. There are people out there who don't have compliance cards. And I know it's astonishing, but they are dangerous. They are dangerous because, if they're not wearing a mask and they're not socially distanced, there is every danger that their free-thinking virus will exit their mouth. And we know this is how it spreads, this virus. Exit their mouth and infect those around. And this is how masks work. We all know that if you wear a mask, it's very difficult to have anybody understand the word you say. Now, obviously, masks aren't 100% effective, which is why we have social distancing, just in case some of your words, your free thinking does get out of your mask, does get through your mask. It's not going to hurt anybody if they're beyond 6 feet, because beyond 6 feet, they're not going to be able to make out what you're saying. So it's the combination of mask and social distancing that keeps people safe from possible infection by free thinking. Now, I know it's astonishing that there are people who have chosen not to get the vaccine and the accompanying compliance card. They seem to fall into two strange groups. The first group seems to be people who don't understand mRNA vaccine technology. They seem to be concerned that it's never actually been used before, and so there are no long-term studies, and they strangely think that's a reason maybe not to take it. I know it's crazy, but these are dangerous people because they remain highly infectious with the free-thinking virus. Now, but maybe even more infectious than they are the people who do understand a few things about mRNA vaccines, or maybe have been looking at the data. They know a little bit about epidemiology, whatever it may be. And then they do a kind of a risk reward, cost benefit analysis on taking the vaccine, and they decide not to. Now, these people obviously are very, very highly infectious if they are not masked up and socially distanced. This is the kind of free thinking that, if it takes hold, it could turn into a very, very deadly variant. It's happened before in American history that a deadly variant of free thinking has kind of just taken off through the community, and then there's all kinds of things that can happen. And the other thing that we need to say is that if you don't have a compliance card, then that means pretty much by definition you're dangerous, because you're not only still infected with free thinking, you are necessarily one of the people who don't know best, and therefore the most dangerous. Now, there are people, of course, who do know what's best. So it's not so much of a problem if they take their mask off every now and then. In fact, sometimes it's good that they do, because when they take their mask off, they can tell people who don't know what's best what actually is best, because they themselves are people who know what's best. So when they take their masks off, that's a bit of a public service. But those people who don't know what's best, they can be dangerous, infecting people if they are not masked and socially distanced. And I should probably just end by saying there is another kind of subgroup of the people who know what's best, and they are the people who really, really know what's best. There's not that many of them around, not always easy to spot them. But if you want, you can find out where they work. If they work at an organization whose name is a 3-letter acronym, that's a good sign that they are people who really, really know what's best. Not a slam dunk. If you want to be really sure, you have to, strangely, go to the website of the organization for which they work. If it ends .gov, that means they're the people who really, really know best. And you don't have to worry at all if those people aren't masked or socially distanced, because there's absolutely no danger that those people will infect anybody else with free thinking. So mask up, stay socially distanced, And make sure if you have any friends or family who don't have a compliance card, who maybe have some of the symptoms of the free thinking virus, you need to stay safe. You need to make sure they stay masked up and that you stay well away so that nothing that comes out of their mouth could possibly infect you. Let's be responsible. We're not over yet. The virus still could take hold. Even now, there could be a spike in free thinking. And then where would we be for the next pandemic? I mean, the people who really, really know what's best would have a hard time turning people who don't know what's best into other people who know what's best. And then, of course, all bets are off. So we need to avoid that. So for the future, and of course, for the children, mask up, socially distanced. Hold tight. We'll get through this.